Do. Hey, what's up? Hi, James from engVid. Do you know there are 3 mistakes you're making with your English right now? I have a special guest, and that's Mr. E's cousin, Dr. E, and he has the prescription for what ails you. Let's go to the board. So, generally put, there are 3 mistakes we make, and if we do not make these mistakes, we can get to success. And that's what E's putting in this cup here for, saying, you can win. You can do it. All right. So the first thing we talk about is fear of what? Making a mistake. People make mistakes. And they're afraid of making them because they think if they make a mistake, there's something wrong with them or they won't get better. Well, making mistakes is part of the learning process. In fact, it's by making a mistake, we try to find out how to fix it. Yeah? Making mistakes holds you back, or your fear of making a mistake holds you back. It stops you from engaging to get the practice that's necessary to get better. We might ask, this fear of making a mistake, well, where does it come from? Well, part of it is this complex thing we call grammar. Many people overthink grammar. What is the present perfect? What is the simple past? What is the present continuous? What is the future perfect? Oh, am I saying this story, this thing right? Is it I was going home? I had gone home? I don't know. I don't know. This leads to a confusion coming from the fear of making a mistake. They get so into trying to get the grammar right that they close down. And that's something we want to avoid. So the first mistake is fear of making a mistake. Right? Cool. The second mistake people make is with grammar. They overthink the grammar, thinking that if they try to get that grammar correct at every time and all time, without making a mistake, that things will be good. But then they get overwhelmed, which means they feel a lot of difficulty or stress because they're not too sure if they got the grammar right. And grammar is a difficult thing to do. Now, because of this, they don't talk a lot, and that leads to lack of consistent practice. Because they're afraid of making a mistake, they try not to say anything. When they do, they overthink the grammar and they just avoid it altogether. And then they say, well, tomorrow I will make up for it. I will study so hard. I will still study very, very hard. And they don't. But maybe they study next week for 1 hour. And then they don't for a while because they make that mistake. And they go, okay, I'm afraid I'll go off. And this circle, you notice it goes like this. The spiral continues. The lack of practice leads to a fear of making mistakes, leads to an overthinking of grammar, which leads to a lack of consistent You can see this, and that's why you are here, right? These 3 mistakes are holding you back. So what happens if we talk to Mr. E's cousin, Dr. E? He's got that special thing there, right? Stethoscope to listen to your heart, because he knows in your heart, like the shadow, he knows what... Comic book hero, go look him up. The shadow knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men. Well, Dr. E knows the fears that you have and how we can work on them. So let's take a look at it. Okay, you got a fear of making a mistake. The first thing I told you about was just this. Mistakes. So where learning happens. You make a mistake, you try and figure out what that is. That curiosity, that work, helps you to understand in a deeper way. Your mistakes give you deeper understanding of whatever it is you're studying, English, mathematics, computers, and going deeper in that learning helps you to grow and get better and leads you on the path of success, right? So once you overcome the fear of making a mistake, going, listen, I'm going to make mistakes. I don't speak this language. It's not my first language. And I'll give you a little hint. Many Canadians and Americans and British people make mistakes. Watch our news. Some of the things they say, you're like, that's not actually correct grammar. And these are professionals being paid to speak, right? So if you're thinking about that, and these are professionals getting paid to speak and they're making mistakes, why are you so upset that you're making any? Okay. So now we overcome making mistakes. You're like, okay, you know what? I got it, James. You and Dr. E are right. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to make mistakes. I go, yeah, you're going to. Let's think about overthinking grammar because you think that's what's going to happen, right? But as I said, as you get over your fear of making mistakes, you go deeper into learning. And because of that, you understand more and you'll make less mistakes naturally. See, I just learned I made a mistake here. Mistakes. Happens to the best of us. Not that I'm the best. All right, let's look at overthinking grammar. I said that was a problem. Instead of worrying about grammar, what you want to do is worry about communication. Subject-verb agreement. I have, she has. Making sure these things agree. So there's clarity in when you're speaking. So instead of worrying so much about, is my grammar actually perfect? It's like, hey, just get some basics right. Get your vocabulary working, right? Basic communication. If I want to drink, I might go at a bar and the bartender will go, I go, I didn't speak English, but I communicated. If you start working on the basics and worry about communicating, make sure people understand what pronoun you're using, what object you're talking about, what action, like, I eat food, yeah? Is it great? Is it perfect grammar? No. I eating food now. No, it's not perfect. Who cares? I understand what you mean. So focus on communication rather than overthinking the grammar. And slowly, as we go through not worrying about mistakes and understanding more, our communication will be more fluid. It will flow better and people will understand us. Cool? All right. Next one we're going to do is this one, lack of consistent practice. We have lack of consistent practice for two reasons. I mentioned before, by making mistakes and worrying about our communication. That's why sometimes we don't practice, we feel badly. Another is we have these really unrealistic expectations. I'm going to come home tonight and study for 1 hour, and I shall study for 1 hour every day for the next 30 days. You're not going to do that. I know you're not going to do that. But what happens if we do this? You set realistic goals. What do I mean? Hey, study for 15 minutes. Study for 5 minutes every day. Study for 5 minutes every day, and on the weekends you have some time. Join a study group where you'll study for 20 minutes. Right? If you make these realistic goals and they're consistent, 5 minutes every day is better than 1 hour a week, believe it or not, because it's consistent. It will help us not only get the confidence to get over mistakes, because we can see what we're doing on a regular basis instead of practicing once in a month and then expecting magic, right? We can set realistic goals by saying, I will study this much. I will study with a group of other people who are at my level once a week. And by doing this, we will make progressive steps where we will progress forward in our language learning. And as we feel more confident, our fear of making mistakes will go down. We will be learning our grammar because we will be consistent in our practice, but our overthinking will stop because we're going to concentrate more on communicating with another person. So it becomes more of a natural thing and the grammar will come. And because of that consistent practice with other people, people can help correct us so we don't have to overthink grammar. They will help us learn it. So we can reverse this circle and say, why don't we get consistent practice so we don't have to overthink, and in doing so, we will lose the fear of making mistakes and we will make a very rapid progress in our language learning. Dr. E. Mistakes are part of the learning process. Don't worry about it. In fact, embrace it. Be happy. If you're making mistakes, it means you're moving forward. The only people who don't make mistakes are dead people. If you focus on communication, this is what you're learning the language for, to communicate. We don't communicate perfectly in our own languages, but we can work on communication and enhance what we have. Enhance means make better, yeah? And finally, set realistic goals. You're not going to learn English in 2 weeks. I should have made this video, learn English in 2 hours, all the English. And there'll be a lot of people clicking like, yeah. Sure, you can work in 2 hours. If I put a tube or a wire in your head, like Elon Musk wants, and there, you can now know all English. But it doesn't work that way. It's not realistic. Maybe in the year 2050, but right now, no. But if we're realistic in our goals, we try working with communication, we embrace mistakes, we'll learn a lot faster than we think. And you too can be a success, righty? Anyway, thank you for watching this video. What I'd like you to do is subscribe, right? Because we got a lot of people who watch, but not as many people subscribe. And a lot of the people who watch many videos. When you do, it helps us get higher up in the search engine so you can get more videos from us on a regular basis. I like that. That will help you with your consistent, or where am I? Your consistent practice, right? More consistent videos from myself, not just myself, other wonderful teachers at engVid. And all you got to do is go put that subscribe button, okay? Anyway, you have a wonderful night, day, lunch, whatever. Get to practicing, and I'll see you soon. Ciao.